This is the NEEWER CM28 wireless microphone kit. It comes in this charging case and it has battery indicators up at the front, as you can see. I'm also recording internally on the transmitter so that you can hear what this sounds like. I'm also recording and wearing a Rode Wireless Pro microphone so you can compare it to that to hear how this sounds stacked up against the Rode. This charging case also has built-in UV lights at the top, and they are positioned directly over the wireless transmitter microphone. So when you close it, it actually activates the UV lights, which are on inside right now. How do we know that it's UV and that it's actually working? Well, I have this UV test card. So what I'm going to do is just stick this test area. So this bottom area is white right now, but when I stick it inside here, I'm just going to close it like that. You can sort of see a bluish glow of light there. So I'm just exposing it to the UV card for a few seconds. Once I remove it, you can see that this UV test card turned purple in the area that was exposed to the UV light. So that's how you know that it's UV and that the light is working, because it's on inside the case right now. Other than that, you get these adapters. So this one is USB-C to Lightning, and what you use this for is the receiver. So the receiver has a USB-C port on the bottom. You just plug that in like so, and then the idea is you could plug this Lightning end directly into your iPhone or your iPad. Now, if you don't want to use the USB-C digital output that's included with that adapter, you could use the built-in 3.5mm jack that's found on this side. So you plug that into your camera using the included TRS 3.5mm cable, or again, you could use USB-C out. On the bottom, you can see the charging contacts that connect to the case. On this side, you see a headphone output that you can use to monitor the audio levels, the power button there, and then a dB level selection there for the output level to your camera. And then you've got the display on the actual receiver unit. And despite what the marketing material says, the receiver does not record. The recording actually happens inside the transmitters, which is what you want, because if the wireless signal drops out, the receiver won't actually get the audio, so it's better to record in the transmitter. So once this is done, I just plug in the transmitter using USB-C into my laptop to copy off the 16-bit 48 kilohertz wave files that are uncompressed, and then I can sync that up with my video, and that's how you're hearing it now. If we take a look at the transmitter a little bit more closely, it has a built-in microphone, but you also have the option to plug in a 3.5mm lavalier microphone. Now there are two indicators on the front here. The blue is power, and it shows that it's linked to the receiver. If I tap the yellow button once, you can see that the blue light turns on. If I tap it again, that turns off. That's the noise reduction. Let me turn on the noise reduction now on my transmitter that I'm wearing. And you can see that it's flashing blue. It was flashing red. Flashing red, you just hold down that yellow button, and then it flashes red. That indicates that it is recording internally inside the transmitter. The transmitter has 4 GB of onboard memory that you can access by plugging in this device through USB-C to your computer. That's long enough to record about 9 hours of uncompressed wave file. So it's 16-bit, 48 kilohertz. So that's recording, and then if I tap it again, notice how it's flashing, which flashing means recording. The blue indicator means that noise reduction is on. So you just hold it until the red stops flashing, and now it stopped recording. So again, charging points there, and it has this built-in clip that you could use to clip onto clothing. And it also has an included magnet. And that magnet you can use to attach to clothing as well, but that is the transmitter, and you get 2 of them. These store neatly into this charging case, and you can charge it using a USB-C connection in the back, and that charges all 3 devices, which is nice. This is a pretty good value. I think that what's missing here is 24-bit recording, because 16-bit may not be high enough resolution compared to some of the other microphones that are out on the market today, like the Rode Wireless Go, or even the Rode Wireless Pro, which features 32-bit float recording. And float, 32-bit float, is interesting because that means that you don't really have to worry about setting your audio levels and gain if you're going to edit in post, because you can readjust the gain and not worry about distortion. Now, that's one thing that's sort of lacking on this NEEWER microphone, is that there's no way to set the gain on the actual microphone. So if you have a really loud sound source, somebody who yells or just talks a lot, yells unexpectedly, the microphone can distort and your recordings can distort. So you got to watch out for that. So the other minor thing that I wish that this kit included was a USB-C to USB-C cable for connecting to your laptop to copy the WAV file recordings off of the transmitters. Now, I also wish that there was a little bit more storage on the transmitters, because it's only got enough time for about 9 hours worth of recording. The Rode Wireless Pro, for example, has, I believe, 40 hours of onboard recording time. So if you accidentally turn on this transmitter for the NEEWER, it could overwrite itself. So you got to make sure you transfer your files off of the transmitter if you need them. That's the NEEWER CM28.
Legge anche durante il trasporto. E proprio per il trasporto troviamo anche una sacca grigia, con al suo interno vari cavi, adattatori e 2 frangivento. Passiamo ora al pezzo forte, cioè alla base di ricarica, che ha un design davvero accattivante, con i suoi colori che sono principalmente il nero e il giallo. Inoltre è maneggevole e mi dà un senso di robustezza. Davanti troviamo gli indicatori della batteria divisi in 4 tacche e dietro c'è l'ingresso Type-C per poterla ricaricare. Pensa che la custodia di ricarica si ricarica pienamente in 2 ore e può ricaricare trasmettitore e ricevitore ben 2 volte. Calcolando che il trasmettitore e il ricevitore si ricaricano in 1 ora e mezza e hanno 8-9 ore di autonomia, possiamo affermare che questi dispositivi hanno una batteria top. Aprendo la base di ricarica troviamo il ricevitore e i 2 trasmettitori. Tutti e 3 gli oggetti dispongono di una clip per poterli agganciare dove vogliamo e sempre nella base troviamo 2 adattatori per poterli attaccare per esempio agli iPhone oppure a un PC o a uno smartphone Android che ha l'ingresso Type-C. Questo microfono supporta la registrazione autonoma grazie alla memoria integrata da 4 GB che gli permette di registrare fino a 9 ore di audio non compresso a 48 kHz. Il ricevitore ha 2 tasti e uno schermo LCD che ci permette di visualizzare tutte le informazioni necessarie per una registrazione professionale. Premendo di volta in volta DB potremo aumentare il volume della registrazione, mentre tenendo premuto per qualche secondo sempre questo tasto potremo cambiare le modalità di esportazioni audio tra mono, stereo e MS. I dispositivi comunicano sulla banda 2,4 GHz con una tecnologia wireless a bassa latenza che garantisce audio di qualità e una connessione wireless stabile. Pensa che la NEEWER garantisce una connessione stabile fino a 200 metri, tranne in rari casi. Sul ricevitore potrai vedere i trasmettitori accesi e la loro batteria, e se sul trasmettitore c'è una luce blu fissa vuol dire che sono accoppiati correttamente. Premendo poi per un secondo il tasto Set al lato del trasmettitore potrai attivare e disattivare la cancellazione del rumore. Con il tasto superiore invece andremo a spegnere e accendere il trasmettitore all'occorrenza. Ed ora che è spento non compare più sul ricevitore. Questi prodotti sono proprio leggeri, il ricevitore pesa 21 grammi mentre i trasmettitori 18 grammi l'uno. In questa maniera sono comodi da agganciare al colletto di una camicia o di una maglia. Premendo per qualche secondo il tasto Set sui trasmettitori potremo fare iniziare la registrazione indipendente e per passare poi i file sul computer potremo utilizzare il cavetto bianco in dotazione. Come ti dicevo prima, per attaccare il ricevitore allo smartphone potrai utilizzare l'adattatore Lightning oppure quello Type-C. E nel caso dei telefoni con il Type-C, in alcuni casi sarà necessario attivare la funzione OTG dalle impostazioni per un corretto utilizzo. Una delle cose che amo di più di questo microfono è la versatilità. Potrai attaccare il ricevitore anche alla tua reflex tramite la clip utilizzando l'ingresso del flash e attaccando il cavo audio sia alla reflex che al ricevitore, e non ti resterà che iniziare a riprendere. Per fare ciò mi sposterò all'aria aperta in campagna e mi allontanerò sempre di più dalla reflex. Dato che c'è molto vento, oltre ad attivare la cancellazione del rumore, utilizzerò un frangivento. E si parte con la registrazione. Vieni! Vieni Franky! Adesso arriverà anche un ospite speciale mentre mi allontano dalla videocamera. C'è anche molto vento e scopriremo tra poco se il dispositivo è riuscito a eliminarlo correttamente. Adesso sono veramente lontano, probabilmente non mi vedrò nemmeno più nel video. Dai, salta! Il range dichiarato è di 200 metri, ma dipende molto dall'ambiente e le circostanze. Almeno così è scritto nel libretto di istruzioni. Eccoci qui ed il video può considerarsi concluso.
Viene en la caja. Se abre aquí, magnético. Y viene aquí dentro. Los micrófonos, ahora os lo enseño. Viene esta bolsita. Dentro de esta bolsita pues vienen algunas cosas. Como son. Vienen dos cables. Este es el cable que va a la cámara. Vienen los dos rompevientos. Y viene para cargarlo. Viene aquí. En esto. La verdad que va muy bien. Ahora estos son los micros. Los abres y automáticamente se encienden. En el momento en el que los sacas, esta es la parte que va a la cámara o al teléfono. Tiene aquí su clip. Este clip es adaptable a cualquier tipo de cámara. Lo que no es adaptable a las cámaras es el clip de aquí. Es un clip como más pequeño. Tiene aquí un imán, por si lo quieres poner. Viene con un imán, se lo puedes quitar. Y yo lo pongo aquí dentro. Aquí tienes el adaptador para USB-C. Va aquí. Y acá viene el adaptador para iPhone. Entonces básicamente lo que haces es conectarlo aquí así, aquí. Y luego esta parte de aquí al iPhone. Y ya está. Queda bien puesto. Yo es que no lo he puesto ahora. Cuando solo es sacarlo, no hay que hacer nada. Solo sacarlos y ya se conecta. Y aquí puedes observar lo que es la batería de los micrófonos y del receptor. Y luego aquí, si yo me acerco, pueden ver cómo la intensidad del sonido. Si dejo uno y solo me acerco uno, pues solamente verán la intensidad de uno. O sea, va bastante bien, se escucha bastante bien. Luego cuando ya terminas de utilizarlo, yo lo que hago es, directamente es guardarlo. 1, 2, y observen como aquí, 3. Se apagan porque se ponen aquí parpadeando. Y ya ahora, si se dan cuenta, tiene aquí unos pines en el que ahora directamente lo cierro y ya se apaga. Se carga por aquí por USB-C y ya está. Cabe en la palma de mi mano, me los puedo llevar donde quiera. NEEWER CM28, y si los abro, aquí verán cómo se enciende. Es muy sencillo de utilizar y es muy práctico. Lo recomiendo bastante. Yo, al menos yo, siempre lo llevo en la caja completa, donde tengo también la bolsa por cualquier cosa, y la batería dura muchísimo. Dura muchísimo. Yo lo tengo así, porque es una caja pequeña también, no me incomoda, para protegerlos bien. Así que los recomiendo.
Hola, esta es una review de los micrófonos NEEWER CM28. Me llegaron el día de ayer. Estoy probando la calidad del sonido. No lo estoy escuchando, es la primera vez que los pruebo. Vi muchas reviews de este micrófono en YouTube, lo cual me hizo convencer para adquirirlo. Lo compré por Amazon. Entonces en ese momento lo estoy probando en mi mano, direccionándolo hacia mi boca. Y lo tengo con el Dead Cat y sin la cancelación de ruido. Vamos a ver cómo se escucha si lo pongo en esta parte de la camiseta. Originalmente yo lo uso por detrás de la camiseta, pero por practicidad lo uso por fuera. Esperemos que se escuche bien. Recordemos que aún no tenemos activada la cancelación de ruido. Entonces, y de hecho está haciendo ruido en la afuera. Listo, me lo voy a despegar. No, le voy a quitar primero el Dead Cat. A ver cómo se escucha. Miren, se lo quité. Quiero saber cómo se escucha. Cuando edite el video me daré cuenta si en realidad pues tiene buena calidad. Yo lo vi en muchas reviews. Esperemos que no sea falso. Y voy a activar la cancelación de ruido, que es este botoncito. Que tenga las dos luces quiere decir que tienen la cancelación de ruido activada. Haremos un momentico de silencio. Sin la cancelación se escucha de esta manera. Con la cancelación se escucha de esta manera. Tengo entendido que la cancelación es útil cuando no hay mucho ruido ambiente y puede ayudar a centralizar y mejorar un poquitico más el tono de la voz y aislándolo más del ambiente. Si son grabados en exteriores, ya la cosa puede cambiar. Porque lo que hace cuando estás grabando en exteriores y por ejemplo pasan muchos carros o hay mucho ruido y tú estás hablando, pues lo que va a pasar es que la voz se va a escuchar bastante coca, se va a escuchar bastante distorsionada y pues realmente la cancelación se va a escuchar de una manera pues, se va a escuchar muy feo. Bueno, esta es su cajita. La cajita recargable es pesadita. Viene con dos de estos y los adaptadores Lightning que está acá y tipo C. La cajita es totalmente recargable.
All right, so that should take care of the sound quality or the transition from the iPhone to the actual newer transmitter. Let me know in the comments. Haha. Let me know what you think about the sound quality here. Like I said, my Samsung Galaxy Ultra had a cracking noise, but I believe the iPhone, there may be some other settings that I have to change in order to get it to record right away on the same video. Let me know how you feel about the audio. This is your favorite auntie. Love you. Bye-bye.
got a new microphone that I want to check out, and it's wireless. So right now it's transmitting back to an audio receiver I have just behind the camera, and we're going to go check the mail. I got this one from Amazon, and I'm curious to see how the reception is with how far away I move. It says it has 1,000 feet line of sight. Now with my back turned, we'll get to see how well it's actually picking up. And facing the other way with the microphone towards, and also under my shirt here. All right, I'm just about to the mailbox now. I'm going to take a look inside. I placed an order for something that I've been hoping will show up. I built a Lego tractor not too long ago, and my son kind of lost one of the pieces. So I contacted them in hopes they would send out replacements, and it looks like they did. But unfortunately, it's not here yet. Now I'm walking back to the camera. Once I get back, I'm going to disconnect everything, take the memory card out of the audio recording device, plug it into the computer, and give a listen to how the audio sounds. I'm curious to see how loud that mail truck is in the background of the audio with the wind protector and the shirt being on top of the microphone. Let's go ahead and pull it out. Here's the microphone here. It's pretty small, and it includes a magnet that was actually the only thing holding it onto my shirt. It does have a clip-on as well, but that magnet's helpful if you're trying to hide it. Let's go ahead and listen to the audio and see how it sounds. Right, so I just got the opportunity to listen to it, and honestly, I think it sounds pretty great. It started to cut out at a bit of distance with my back turned, but you know, that's still not line of sight, so I'm not going to really hold that against them. I think overall it looks like it's a pretty good unit for the price and makes it pretty easy to go ahead and record things, given that I already did have this audio recording device. You still could hook it into a phone, but I don't need to do that. It'll take a bit more testing to see how I truly feel about it, but initial reaction is pretty positive. I think it's well worth the money.
All right, I am doing a review of the CM28 by NEEWER. It is a Bluetooth microphone that can connect to your 3.5 millimeter jack. It can connect via USB-C, and it can connect via Apple, via the Apple Lightning port. So it's got all three of those types of connections for your different devices, whether it's an Apple camera, a USB-C Android, or a computer. So this is what it sounds like, and this is what it sounds like. So here is the NEEWER. It's a CM28 professional wireless lavalier microphone, and it's compatible. And the nice thing about this camera is that it does have the ability to have recording on the device itself. So you can actually record just by itself without any use of a connection. So it acts like a standalone recorder as well. The life of it, the battery life is really long. I've never had to recharge it on any recording. It claims to have 8 hours of recording on the transmission. And here's what it sounds like. This is the sound. I did put the windscreen on. It doesn't make a difference when you're indoors with the windscreen on or off. I just kept it on so you can see the windscreen. But how does that compare to a actual microphone? So let me switch over to the Shure MV7 microphone, and let's see what it sounds like with that microphone. So this is the Shure MV7 microphone that I'm recording from, and you tell me the difference, the Shure MV7 microphone or the CM28 microphone. You be the judge. Which sounds better, the CM28 or the Shure MV7? This is the Shure MV7 microphone. Tell me which sounds better.
Okay, alright, when plugged into the charger, it doesn't, usually blink to show it's charging. It only just has the one light on. It never charges. Also, you can see, even though they're on the charger, the charging box is charged up, or charging up, supposedly, but it's not charging. If you look, you'll see on the receiver, nothing is charging. so it doesn't charge the devices anymore, and the box won't charge up at all. And also the receiver, it'll turn itself on and off, even though I've charged it up from the side port. It'll still turn itself on and off with a full battery. So I don't know what that's about. But once again, it's not charging any of the devices. It shuts off, shuts it on, but it doesn't charge them. And I've tried different cords. You notice neither one of the mics on there are charging. So I don't know what's going on, but this thing is practically brand new.
All right, I've talked about it enough. I've talked about it on social media. I've told my friends about it. The new king of the castle when it comes to bargain wireless lavs is this. It's the NEEWER CM28. This bad boy comes in a great little charging case. It's very, we've seen this before. It charges via USB-C. It comes with adapters in the case, so you can run it to your mobile device, whether that be your iPhone or your Android or now also iPhone. It's got a pretty unique feature, if you can see in the top here. It's got UV lights in the top of the case, so it sanitizes the microphones. That's really cool. Like, we should have been doing that for a while now. The microphone itself is pretty basic. There's not much to it. It's very simple to operate. It's plug and play. I don't really have any complaints. The noise reduction is on now. It works well. So hopefully you can't hear my lights doing their like fan thing. It's got built-in recording. It's literally a one-stop shop, and the price is phenomenal. This is definitely the new king of bargain mics. Anyway, let me know what you think. I highly recommend it. It's the one I've been reaching for when I just want something quick and easy. This is my go-to.
What you're hearing right now is recorded with the Type-C adapter. So you can see right over here, there's also an adapter as well. So if you have like one of the older gen iPhones, you can use that too. So yeah, I really do love this thing.
Try this dummy out first. First. I know, 100. Look at that, 9 out of 10, bro. Wow. I didn't even dip it or put nothing in it either. So.
Introducing to my camera family the NEEWER microphones. So this came really nice. That is a charging case. It comes with one receiver and 2 microphones. Comes with all these adapters. Really dope. And the really microphone
anything
is
like this.
Amazing. I'll talk to y'all later.
So here's a quick pro tip. If you're looking for good audio at a super affordable price, easy to control audio adjustments on the fly, and well, if you got background noise, just turn on the noise cancellation.
okay, this is day one of if you got something to sell or promote and need somebody to do it for you, I can do it for you. So let me know.